Good afternoon, D11 family. Welcome to our CC 11 special meeting for February. Just a reminder that this meeting is a public meeting and it is being recorded. The time now is 12 p.m. For those that are on Zoom, please have your mics muted. There will not be public comment at the end of this meeting. We do not have interpretation for this meeting. And only CEC 11 members will be able to speak during this meeting. All right. Unfortunately, our recording secretary is not able to join us. Therefore, I will be doing roll call. Ashley Jones, present. Ms. Bonilla.
Present.
She's present. Dr. Tova is with an excused absence. Ms. Alameen has an excused absence. Mrs. Garcia. Present. Mr. Cruz. He has an excused absence. Mrs. Vera has an excused absence. Mr. McCartney is on the way, so he will be present in the next couple of minutes. Mrs. Mary Small.
Present on Zoom.
Mrs. Brulos Burns.
Present.
Mr. Coles.
Present.
Mrs. Matthews Cotton.
Present.
Okay, let the record show that right now we only have 6 members in quorum to make 6 members present. So therefore we have not made quorum yet, although again, Mr. McCartney is on its way. Therefore, we can move to just conversations around the budget modification. And then from there, once he gets here, we can vote. All right, I am going to let, Karina, do you want to kind of start?
With what you want me to start?
Let's start with the budget modification and just kind of explain the budget a little bit of how we have the lines sorted out and why we have the lines sorted out. And then from there, I will add in my thoughts along with the rest of the company.
Okay, in the first table we are showing is the reimbursement for the members and the president. And what you see in purple, from, for example, from Miss Terry on October to June, and then from Miss Erica from January to June, and from February to June. That purple area is the money that we right now need to pay the reimbursement every month. And that is around $7,004. So there's some members that are donating. There's these black areas that are maybe money that, or the member it was not in the council, and it's money that we could move around. Yeah,
Okay.
we could move around.
Okay.
We have this other second table where we show right now the remainders that we have for each line. The member reimbursement, the president, the monthly meal, the office supply, the P card. The P card is to pay for the website. the large event, because what we're planning, it was for one event, but we trying to have two events right now. And the educational software line that we create when we had some problems to pay for the website for the council. So we were looking into the reimbursement lines because that's where there's like more money we can move. Like there's some members that are making donations. And when we were looking into that money, is around 1,701 with 25 cents. That looks like the amount we could move to the large event that right now is 3,252. Something that many of us didn't notice before. Last year, we had a line named SWAT.
Mhm.
The SWAT, and it was, I remember really clearly, it was 1,500 to invest to pay for SWAT, pencils, things like that. This year in our budget, we didn't create that line. So I don't know if the members want to create a line, maybe with the money that we are looking from donations. There's other money in the budget that we can move, like the remainder for the office supply, that is $90.20. From educational software right now is not showing it there, but there will be a remainder of $9.05. And from monthly meals, we usually don't buy meals for the council for the meetings. There's 859. Maybe we could take, I don't know, $500 to move it, or for the event, or to create the SWAT line. I don't know if there will be more donations. So.
Do you mind if I jump in? I don't want to, okay.
Sure.
Monthly meals, now we did buy food last month.
Yes,
We bought pizza and sandwiches
yes,
for the school. And then, we also had pizza that was February. We also provided food in December's meeting. And then we also had food in November's meeting. And the food can be a bit pricey depending on what you're doing. And I do think that I appreciate it when the food is good. Okay. Did anybody else appreciate? I know you wanted your sandwiches was good. We couldn't make it, but so I'm not gonna say that, yes, we should have food at every meeting going forward. And then it makes a difference too, when we're moving around from school to school, to be able to offer something, especially if the kids were performing or something like that. You wanna give the families and even the staff that's willing to stay and have to support us. So I would, if I would appreciate it if we did leave the food money there, maybe not all of it. But it would make sense to leave some of it, not take out like 500 because the food is pricey. I think the sandwiches that we got, we have to keep a bid under like 250. And we just made that. So we should like at least consider thinking about, being that now in February, March, April, May, June, we have 4 more months to go. So at least saying that we're gonna plan for 3 more meals at least, and kind of try to calculate that out roughly here. So if I said that I wanted to put,
$600 for 3 monthly meals.
okay, and just kind of like putting some money to the side for that. So at least, again, yeah, like 600, so we don't have to get the bids if we stay under 250. That's my suggestion as far as in with the monthly meals.
That means if we just leave 600 for monthly meals, it's like 259 that maybe we could take from the monthly meal.
Okay,
Right.
okay. Now moving to, thank you, swag line. Swag, another thing. Now we have swag, which is these little pins that I'm holding right now. And then we have a calendar for 2020. Yeah, it's 2020, yeah, 2025 that we bought last year, and I don't think that we finished passing that out. And we should start to continue to pass those items out. And I'm also thinking about just when the next council, when some of us come back into this space, you want to kind of have something that if even over the summer, when we're tabling in June, July, because that's when really you use your swag the most at the tabling event. So if there is more magnets or pins or something like that, and I can,
Say with the 259 with the order, keychains,
okay, just something, just so,
because the magnets, I think, took too long to get the.
yes. Just to hold the next council over in the budget until they get their own budget and get to start over again. I know how hard that was.
So that comes out of the office supply budget?
It goes into a swag budget.
Because,
We'll create a line that
It
says
says
swag.
swag.
and so where would that come from? Where would that money come from?
And that's where, so
That's
like
what-
right, the 250 from the meals, and then there's another 1,000 and some
1,000
dollars
for donations.
from donations.
Donations and
But donation.
money that it will not be claimed from the reimbursement
that was
line.
the event fund.
Oh, well, you're saying we could put it in the event line?
Donations and everything.
For donations, from donations and money that it will not be claimed, we have 1,701 with 25 cents.
So you should move that. I
That would be
think there should be a line, like what's available, that way we know how to play with, it, you know what I mean? So like if
That's-
there's an extra line, that's what we're doing right now?
Right.
Yeah.
That'll be
So
the
it's just-
swag line and the event line, what we moving for each line.
Okay. So we have,
So you're saying take the entire, because from the member reimbursement,
That
can we
will-
put some of it in the swag line as well? The reason why I'm asking, if we're also doing awards got bought up swag line.
No, they did it.
Yes, it did.
No, they did.
We can go pull it up. Yeah, they,
It was an event line.
Naomi, if you could pull it up, it was not in the event line.
It was not in the event line.
Line.
We went to
Yeah, it
to
was
the
not.
computer and checked.
I did not, and
It was not in the event
because
line.
you order it from Crown Awards, and that was one of those purchase orders when we also purchased during ordering the magnets and the pins from the website. It was not in the event line.
It was
Only,
in
the
there.
only money that was in the event line was that 6,400 and something
Something.
dollars that went to, Maestros from last year.
I have a question.
Mhm.
What is the event for?
And then that's another, that's the other part that we'll get. After we do decide exactly, well, after not decide, see how much money is left in the large event, where are we gonna use it? Because
Okay.
there's 2 different events that we're trying to do. It's,
Show it.
yeah, go see, she'll show you the purchase order. It's the CEC 11, the resource fair. And then it's the parent leader legislative event as well that we're trying to prepare
Okay.
for.
Okay,
In the
Another
years
question.
before, the councils have events like the legislative, breakfast, and things like that for the district. And that's why that line is always created there for an event. But last year, the council decided to have just one big event, and it was a big event.
Yes.
So is our annual budget capped at 25,000 for each council, or can you apply for more?
Mhm.
Yes, it's capped at 25,000. We passed a resolution for what was that, a 10% increase that we were supposed to get? And this was last year, that for food, for the cost of food,
Mhm.
and we never got that money.
No, it wasn't. For food.
It was for what?
It was for my seat,
Okay,
for D75 seat was added without being included
Oh.
in 25,000.
okay,
So they added an extra seat with still the old amount
Okay,
that everybody was getting.
But
okay,
But other districts were looking into have that applying like a resolution for
That's what
that.
she's saying.
We applied for it.
Many
but we
from
never heard
Brooklyn,
anything.
I think it was CC 30 that it started,
Mhm.
and then other councils joined, but we never got it approved. So it was.
Right.
so back to the food piece, I would recommend leaving in the food like you mentioned,
Mhm.
but leaving it at the 250 at the bid, because you said the sandwiches were almost at the bid amount.
Mhm.
For events in the evening, things around 6 o'clock, people with children, even people without children coming from work, I find that attendance always tends to be better if they don't have to worry about what they're gonna have for dinner. So if they can show up and grab something, no matter what it is,
Mhm.
or I know for me personally, I'd be more inclined to bring my daughter and not have to worry about dinner if you
Mhm.
guys are serving pizza, because she'll eat that minus the cheese, but it's another
Mhm.
story. So I would recommend that we leave that in and also leave it at the 250 per time that we choose, because of the flexibility that it would offer us.
Right, I agree.
So you're saying 3 meetings, 250.
So it'd be 750.
750. And we have 859. So we're
Yeah.
we're talking about
109.
109.
All right, so now we're down to 109.
109.
Okay,
And then you're talking about the 170125. Right?
That's for 3 months.
so what, the 109 or what, the 700?
Yeah, that's all.
Cause she's saying, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, 3
50,
months.
250.
I wish we could do the 4 and have food at every meeting. I think well, I don't know, but if we were to establish that as something people could expect, maybe it would help attendance. But the costs are what they are.
Mm-hmm,
So
That was what we were, I remember Miss Sharon said that to have meals for every meeting.
and it helps out, and it
does.
does,
Yeah.
meals and a performance.
Now,
Yeah.
question, so that would give us a balance of 1810, right? Just doing that off the top. How much of that 1810 is going to go towards swag and how much of that is gonna go towards
Right.
or towards the event?
Right, and that's where, if we're buying awards. Last year, we spent a lot on awards. I don't think we should spend that much on awards this year, because last year we spent 1,000, and I feel like it was
Right.
1,000
Okay.
and $50, something like that, on awards. We don't necessarily have to do that again this year, for the budget. So, but awards are costly. They are very pricey. So-
500 for awards.
Okay. And I'm,
How much is that?
500, because you said it's 1,800, right?
We have $1,800 right now.
Who are we
I
giving
see.
awards to?
For the parent leaders.
So how can we limit, if we're gonna say 500 for the awards, how can we limit it to 500? Like, do we
That
have?
means we gotta go back to the pricing, because the awards were changed with pricing last year in the committee. that was, the prices in Crown Awards. We could look for awards that still look nice, but that are cheaper
that are
price.
cheaper price.
We-
Yes,
they-
still within the
Naomi
budget.
will look
Right.
for a bid.
Is that realistic though? Like right
Right,
now.
yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah, we
$500
could go with a
So
cheaper
then, if
award.
we did that, right, then we would have $1,300 that would apply to the event, which would be, let's just say rough
Because I
numbers,
believe it was only.
right? It'll be,
16
we'll only have
rooms.
like $4,500 for an event. Is that enough money to have a large event?
Now,
Mhm.
to do a legislative event to do a legislative parent leader dinner, that would not be enough money.
Okay,
However, we could also use that money on the resource fair and then look at, sponsorships and partnerships to do the legislative. So that means that we would come with no money and just working with the committee to do letters to people in the community, to our legislatives, asking if they could donate to a large, like to basically to our dinner or whatever else.
And that leads to the agenda item for number 6 on that we could collaborate with DPAC, President's Council, and Bronx High School Federation.
Federation. And
are they
come
willing to give us money?
We could join with them to
join with them to
Get the
collaborate, so get the
Is that
sponsorship.
for the,
For the legislative,
yeah, oh, so the legislature,
Mhm.
okay.
we could collaborate with them to get the sponsorship we need.
And do we know how much money they have available to?
No, we don't know that yet.
Yes.
And then the other question is, I thought that the resource fair was gonna be free, like I thought we were gonna get sponsorships on all that, no?
So we have a
There's
partnership
things
for,
we would have to pay for.
we
the
have
people
one
to come.
sponsorship, one partnership for the resource fair, which is the NCNW.
Okay,
And that's what we were trying to go from there, like what vendors do we have? What do we get free? And if we are buying something, what are we buying?
yeah,
And that goes to like, and give out swag, like Danielle was saying. But we need swag to give out.
Yeah,
yeah. So, I mean, listen, right now, if that's the case, we're working with $4,500
Yep,
for both the event, so for both
yes.
the fair and the legislature.
mhm,
So we know that bulk of the money always goes to the legislature, right? Or it
Mhm.
should go to the legislature.
right.
So then we should take a fraction of this 45 and say, we'll allocate it there, and then the rest of it will go.
It
to-
just goes on the large event line. It could go
Okay.
for both.
Okay,
That way we don't have to determine which one is what.
mhm.
That's why we made the.
so this is what we're voting on right now, like, do we wanna do this, do we wanna,
No, we're just voting on what we're moving,
okay,
not
how
what
much we're
doing
moving,
with it.
got it, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So basically, what we will be voting on right now is the 109 from the monthly meals supply. And
Mhm.
then and then the 1701 from the memory
Reimbursement.
And
That's it.
to
Mhm.
create the swag line to put the $500 there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause that's not part of the event, that's its own line.
That's, yes.
And to move,
So we'll make a
those,
five
the
hundred.
other little things that are, from the office supplies and from the
Oh, we pulling
educational
from the office
software.
supply, so then we should put the full amount. So we're pulling from member reimbursement of 1,700.
Can I get a detail on what that 17 is? I keep trying to do the
Okay.
math on this and I'm not
Oh.
getting 17.
No, as people have donated already.
Okay, is it like if we were to count some of these, would it total
No,
up to that?
it's included. It's including some, thank you, I write it down there.
So the member reimbursement, right, their monthly meals, which is the 109. So 1701.25, right? And
Sorry,
then-
excuse me, guys. Can Naomi put this on a spreadsheet so we could see? Because I can't follow with just talking about numbers. Like if she could just put in what it's gonna like, what the budget will look
Oh,
like
that's
with the
I'm saying it
changes.
out loud, and then I guess you could plug it in. I'll put the numbers in.
Yeah, if she could plug it in so I could like see it on the screen, that'd be like.
So right now, member reimbursement 1701.25. Then monthly meals 109, right?
Yeah,
Okay, then office supply, how much are we taking from?
90.20, the
Okay,
remainder that is
90.
there,
90.20. Then nothing from the P card because, right?
The P
Right.
card is just
Hold
for
on,
the
let me
website.
see.
Okay, and then the
There
same
should
thing,
be
right?
money in the P card because it's only gonna be another 144 for the remainder of the website. Cause
You
it's the
sure?
next 5 months at $36 or 4 months,
Yeah,
whatever.
from the P card, how much we will need for the end of the year?
Who's this? This one.
That's you.
No, this person below me. What name is that?
5 times 36.
Is it 5 or 4? Cause March is already, February is already paid for.
That we never
That
charged
we haven't
February.
charged February,
Oh, it's not included yet?
no,
It was. It has to,
That's the 180 right there.
it looks like it's you.
Okay, then it is the 180 if February is included, because it said paid already on the website. That's why I was confused.
And then as far, once we vote and move these things,
So
we
that,
don't have to
so
spend
then
the
no
penny
money
on
will
each
be
line. We
right,
have some
right?
flexibility internally, right?
that's why this is the last time we get to move it.
Got it.
So
Can we
there's
write
no
that
more
into
money
the
on the
bylaws?
P card?
Is that by the city?
Yes.
Oh,
But
There's no money on the
SBO,
P card, right?
POE, so we
And the
can.
P card,
No?
that's it, seven.
Okay,
So,
so then the only,
Yeah.
there's only 3 lines that we'll be pulling from.
February 24th,
okay.
So just to be
this
clear,
happened was last year.
there's only 3 lines that we'll be pulling from.
Yes,
It's gonna be the member reimbursement,
That's you.
That's me.
No.
Okay.
Because
monthly meal,
I told her I wasn't claiming it.
and
you
the
told-
office supplies.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's why.
so that we, and then we're gonna
but
create
that, and now we'll create the swag
the
line,
flat line, 500.
but now we need 180 for the P part.
No,
This
there's
can
already
change your
180.
mind.
Yeah,
I was gonna take the 2 months, but it's okay because we're counting on the money. Don't worry.
17. Then 90.
Karina, can you tell us
Oh, we
one more
ready?
time how much is donated, how much we have out there?
I have it here, you can.
296.
That's 1,400. And from that 1,400, then we'll decide how much will go into, or just go straight into that card.
just the large event is for anything that
Okay.
we're trying to do.
That's okay. So then.
Cause that was what I asked them in January, like, do we have to specify what are we using it
Got it.
for?
And they said no.
said no. That we just put it there and then we.
So that'll
decide.
be, so the large
That's the
event
only
line should be about,
flexibility, I guess, we have to have it on that line, same event.
so the large event will be like 46 people, the swag will be 500.
You know,
And
one,
we'll have a
right,
total of 19.
so, right,
Okay.
that's,
Cause I'm just trying to be considerate.
that is
Sorry,
something we
Right.
have,
That's
I
why.
also had it on.
Okay.
From the reimbursement, it's just 16.
Oh.
The 17 is including 90 from the supplies, the office supplies, and the $9 from the educational supplement. So
Okay, so-
members reimbursement
It's fine.
is just 16, let me write it.
it's 1/6, okay. 1602
1602 even?
even.
Okay. So 1602 even. Minus, right, the 90, what is it, the.
I don't think you have to.
Oh. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's 12:30 already.
Yes.
That
is like.
15. You know, let me GPS it. Let me GPS it with stuff. Off the top of my head.
I don't want us to have quorum and then we don't get to do what
I
we
know,
came to
exactly,
do.
exactly.
No,
That's what I was saying.
I got my bag, I came from, oh no, wait, the other side of the Bronx, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 15, because it's gonna take me 44 minutes to get there, so it'll give me 15 minutes to park and.
Okay. So you have.
I think we was ready.
That's why I probably know.
Oh, yeah, that was that
That's
too.
why I'm like, I'm trying to.
I'm like, usually we
I know
have
you
a
said
meeting.
you're.
Because I totally forgot.
Doing that,
That's what you said, my time. I was
we
like,
just got out yesterday.
I didn't realize it was 12:30 already.
No, but that place we got out 2 weeks ago, but then. Two.
All about them.
So we're not taking that was happening.
The monthly, how much?
So we went to care of that, so she got discharged yesterday. That's why I came back. Especially from her house.
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
Now.
Something is wrong. She was in.
Now, let me ask you, should this be live?
Now.
Should we be on mute?
I thought that, thank you. Say that, maybe I'll be bored.
That's what I'm saying, be like. No, it's just more like.
So Pat, can you hear me?
Yeah,
We need 180 for the P part.
if it's 5 months, yes.
Okay, so that's calculated out, leave that there.
Yeah, as long as, because
Okay,
on the website, it's showing paid already for February. That's why I thought that we only needed 4, but if that's not in this document, then we need the 5.
But
Okay.
Erica says she saw that one. meeting.
okay.
Right, you
so-
saw the one.
It's on here on the spreadsheet.
Yes. Now, and then, what is the educational fund?
And you will have
Oh,
the $9.
they haven't claimed it
I haven't done it yet.
because they're paying, okay. But once they do claim, it'll be $9.
$9.
Okay, so that's the 905.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so, so you would be putting the 920. The 1920, 920, oh, what was it, right? This 905, swag, just for now. Okay, what about the other, took out the 159?
$109.
Well, it's 700 subtracting 59 would be 159. No?
Yeah.
That's what you have to buy it. So, the spot.
And I don't. Yeah.
So that's it. Now donation line, how much is here? 1602?
Yes.
Can you display that so everybody can just see where we are right now, please? All right. So Pat, thank you for saying that, because now even I understand better.
So now we vote on it.
Well, once we see how much, yeah, we're gonna be able to vote.
I will be kind of.
Where is it?
She's got the. It's coming now, it's coming.
Okay, Naomi, come on now. Most of us is in here over 40. You are killing my eyes. Can you please make it bigger?
You need a Zoom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Topaz, you can see that, right? No problem.
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
All right. So does everybody kind of understand what we did here? It looks plain, okay. So now in the swag line, we have 258, because that came from the
Oh, yes.
the monthly meal and the office supply and
Educational software.
the educational software.
Mhm.
So with the donation, if we're doing 500, we're gonna just say 500 for swag. Then how much is that? It'll be, who the math people, 1,000, $10
We're
and 2
taking
cents.
from donations 500.
Mhm.
The
And we've reduced the
donations,
meals to 7, right? Not 750?
where is the donations?
You said 7,
1,000.
750.
750, okay.
I mean, $50 won't, you know, I mean, we could probably try to not hit the
That makes
extra
sense.
50, yeah.
Okay, Naomi, can you make the monthly meals 750 and then deduct $50 from donations?
$15.52.
Okay,
But now you gotta take out 500 from the donations to add it to the swag. So it'll be 1,052.
well, if
How
we
many
making
single
swag, even 500, then we would be only be taking out
No, I didn't
1,052.
say even 500.
how much?
You asked to take from 2 separate places.
How much
So
are we making for swag then?
take out 500 from donations for swags.
So then swag will be 200 and,
something.
okay. That makes it easy.
I thought we were gonna just make it 500.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, let's do
It
5. I
was
think we should do-
500, but she was taking money from the meals, which was
I think we should
250
put that towards the
something.
event. To be honest,
And
with you, I think we should keep it flat 500. And I think make it flat 500, and whatever's left from that 258 that was there, or whatever's the difference, goes back into the events.
Okay,
That way it's even numbers. And, cause I'm like,
Or
swag,
leave it in 700. The swags.
why do we
leave it
need
in-
that much for swag? Why can't we leave 500 and it goes towards the event?
We're not ordering any new
Pins
pens or
or,
things.
no,
So
okay,
I
we're
have a
not
question.
ordering any for
no.
the resources fair.
We're ordering the pens and the magnets. That's what we said. We did,
For
I mean,
the
the
keychains.
keychains.
I have a
no
question.
awards.
That was the other part of why we needed extra
So,
money for the swag.
yes,
No
yes.
awards.
The swag that we will order, it will not be swags, it will be the awards.
It will be
500 for
swag
the
and
awards.
it will be the awards.
So wait, let me ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have to be segregated into swag and large event, or can we combine the
Yes.
name on one line?
No,
Has to be separate.
Yeah,
separate.
it has to be separate in order to be able to pay
Yeah.
for it.
has to be
Because
separate.
the way they allocated on the payment.
Mhm.
purchases.
It's how the central work, the
Got it.
central have to
Okay,
see.
I'll put 500 for swag. Unless you're lumping awards in there, then.
Where-
That was that we are putting the awards in there.
That's what I
So-
was
so-
saying. You
so
have to put
normally-
awards and
So
swag in order
normally
for that line.
pens and keychains are $258.
No,
Okay,
they're not.
so that's what I'm saying. And the awards are $500 or no?
The awards, they spent 1,000 and change last year.
But
So
we're
you
gonna get our
Trying to,
less
we trying
awards,
to
right?
say, that was what I said, just spend $500 if it's
Oh, okay.
awards.
Can we do that? Is that possible?
I've
Yeah.
done the math. It's, if we're doing 16 awards, it's $31 and some change per award. We should be able to come in under that, depending on what we choose.
Okay.
So then, for the swag line, are we leaving the two
You want it to 7 or you want it to 5?
to be safe, 7?
Okay.
So 200 for the swag and 500 for the awards.
We
Okay.
can say that. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
then really it depends, like we can
That's
do-
why I was
calculate
asking
it out,
about flexibility
right?
on the name.
Right, then
Yeah.
that's when we can go into the flexibility piece.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
700.
700,
So it's. 700, that's too much.
so where would you take the rest of the 700 from? The donation?
On the
It was
donation
the
line.
500 from the donation line. So it'll be 1,052.
It would not really be 500 if we will leave the swag flat in 700. Right now, there's 258.
I know, but I don't have a calculator, so who
Yeah.
else has a calculator?
That's what I'm saying, so let's do this,
So
so.
which one? What is
So,
the
what
Erica?
we're
So
doing,
to,
We only gonna put it up to 500, 700 on the line.
258,
How much?
so
we
it's a difference of 442 that we're
we
adding.
need 442.
Okay,
From
so
the
take out,
donation.
right,
So 442 and what that leaves the donation line with.
So 1550.
My phone is charged, that's what I'm saying.
442. 1110.
okay. So,
So 1110 in the
Say
donation,
it again for Naomi to plug it in.
1110 in the donation, 442, and then 700 in the swag.
All right, now we can go.
Wait. The donations was 1,600
No,
before.
it's 15.
It wasn't.
Right there was 15.
1562.
It was
1552.
it was 1,600, and then we took 500 from it, which brought it down to 1,552. It was originally 1,602.
Yeah, but on.
1602.
Yeah, and then we
Okay.
took the 500, and that's what brought it down to the
Yeah, but
1,552.
if I take,
Or 1,600 minus 500 is not
1,600.
52.
It's not.
no.
1,600 minus 500
1,600
is.
That was
minus
something,
442.
and we minus $500 from it.
Yeah,
Wait.
what was listed there was
Wasn't
1552 just now. If you do Control Z, Control Z, it'll take the numbers back on. It was 1552 that was there. And then,
Naomi, put it
it was
back to what
258.
it was.
Yes, put donations in 1602.
it's right there on the side where it says committed,
Yeah,
But I
it
don't-
was 1602.
but we've been,
So
But we
we
already
take-
did that. That was committed.
From 1602, we will take 442 to move to the swap.
Go back to. how
And
it
that
was.
is 1,160, no
Minus
110.
Naomi, so why did you have 1562 there? How did we get 1562?
Yeah, exactly.
With the
Yes.
donation?
It was
You took
1552.
$50 and put it in the meals.
Was it
to make
$50 that we took?
$750.
They
Yeah,
put $50
it.
into
It
the
was
meal.
$50, so that was what
Yeah.
we did. You got it, Cory? We moved $50, Terry said move $50 to 750 for the meals.
Yes.
That's
We
what it
don't
was.
have to. Because the meals remain that it was
Okay, wait a
859.
minute.
So,
Hold on.
We
So,
don't have to move $50 from the
said-
donation
hold
to
on,
the
Karina.
meal.
What we said was we were gonna have $250 a meal for 3 meals.
Yes,
That's 750.
yes.
Okay, so that's where the 750 comes up.
Yes, but the meals, the money that it was originally in the meals, it was
$50.
$859.
Correct,
Mhm.
So we are taking $109
correct.
and we will move it to the swap.
Okay,
And the line for the meals, it leave in 750. So we
Okay.
don't have to take $50
no,
from
but
the
that's what we
donation.
we're trying to figure it out. Okay, so we have the 1602.
The
in donation.
1602 in the donations
And then we have-
stay 1602 until we take
Okay,
442 to move it to the swag line.
okay. So 1602 minus 442 is how much?
1602 minus 442, I see here 1160.
1160, right? Now,
So Naomi is no
But we
one
had-
one
There was
ten.
this, we were just looking at the numbers that were there. That's what we're saying. Because there was a 1552, there was a 258. So with that 1160, okay, I was wrong then.
That's what I was.
From the 1160, right? Do we add that 109 to that 1160?
All right,
To
guys,
the-
time, cause
11.
Terry and everybody has to leave.
Okay, so look, from the donation, 1602, right?
Yeah.
We're taking out the 442
Yeah.
to make the swag 500, right?
Yes,
Where's the rest of the money coming from?
in the swag line,
Yes.
it was there. We put $90.20
Okay,
from
so,
the office supplies, $9.05 from the educational source.
okay, so perfect. So 9.05 plus, right? Then the 90/20, that leaves 99.25, right? Right?
Yeah,
Plus the 442, right? Is that right?
yes, but before in the swag line, we had 258, Naomi. The 258 we had in the swag.
Yeah, cause we're missing, if we just, however Naomi has this calculated right now,
That's why I'm saying to her to go back
There's
to
no
what
money in
she
the large
had,
event line.
That was the number you had told me.
oh, okay.
but
Yeah.
you click undo. And then you see what you had before.
So are you looking at the difference from the remainder of
Mhm.
13,000 to the 10? There's no money in the large
We're
event
not
line.
getting nowhere.
Oh, okay.
It's stuck
So we need
here.
to put something in, so. How
Well,
much-
wait, we're not stuck here because, okay, we have the money that's allocated for the member reimbursement.
Okay,
We have the money that's allocated for the president reimbursement.
Yeah.
We're set on 750 no matter what for the meals.
Yep.
All right, no more money for office supplies.
Yep.
P-card, we need 180.
Yep.
Then we have 700 we know for swag. Now we just need to add the donation to the large event and see what we have left in the pot.
You have
Yeah,
$36 left. If you move the large event line over. You'll
Okay,
see
so.
it's gonna be off by
Because
$36.
basically the donation line is gonna disappear, because from there, we can add that to the large event line. That's the whole purpose of the final
Yeah.
analysis, right? Okay,
so that $36 will go into the large event, line.
right.
Okay, then that's
Then,
clear.
right.
That's crystal clear.
So then can we do that? What's the numbers looking like? Let's go.
Adding this amount,
Uh-huh,
the large event.
uh-huh.
Plus $36.
We're over. Okay, we're under.
Plus $36.
Yeah, plus 36, Naomi, so
Where is the 36?
43, just put 43.96 instead of 43.60. $2, right?
Yeah, you need enough for $2.
So then we do 43.98 and that's even.
Then, yeah, because whatever,
43.98.
whatever's left is just going to the event line.
That's the balance out, there you go.
Right, we gotta go.
Yes?
Are we ready to vote now?
Aye.
Now, those numbers is right?
Yeah, as far as they
We
gonna
will-
be, we gotta go.
We have to revise them, but we could vote.
Okay,
I would revise them. If the last day to change them is February 24th.
right now, the remainder, they look like it's fine. Mhm.
I thought it's 15, 18, I got notes.
Yeah,
Listen, it all lose me. Once, I just need to know where, how much is how much, and
Exactly,
let me
and
just add my numbers up,
exactly,
like, just
exactly.
tell me where we putting money. And you're
That's
right,
why I
then
just
we
wanna
can
know.
calculate it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I start the,
Are you okay with that, Karina?
yes, it looks so.
Okay. And then I guess if we could, long as we know exactly how much and anything that's left over, once they really finalize the calculations, it'll just go to the large event. Cause it
Yep.
will only be like a couple dollars difference.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then it's just another good thing that we're trying to use all the money that the DOE definitely provides.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. So budget modification vote. Wait, do I need to make a motion to vote?
I think we do. Almost.
All right.
Maybe you just, if everybody agrees, say yeah.
Does everybody agree?
It's a bullshit.
Yeah, you have to have the motion. All right.
Hi, Erica, would like to motion that we vote on the budget allocation,
Yes.
budget modification.
Fine. Second.
All right.
Michael
you could-
McCartney, I second.
Now you could do what you wanted to, Karina.
All right.
Like if everybody agrees, say.
Okay. All right. So moving forward with the budget modification vote. Ashley Jones, I approve. Ms. Bonilla,
I approve.
Dr. Topa's not here. Ms. Salamine is not here. Karina Garcia, I agree. Mr. Cruz is not here. Mrs. Vera is not here. Mr. McCartney.
Approve.
Mrs. Mary Smalls,
Approve.
okay. Mrs. Bulos Burns,
True.
Mrs. Matthews Cotton,
Approve.
and Mr. Cole.
Approve.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so we have voted on the budget modification and we will clean up anything else that is. Now, we're gonna table the resolution because Samira, again, she wasn't able to come in to read that. And then as far as in like the partnership with the resource fair, is anybody opposed to that? With
No,
okay, and then what about as far as in the parent leader event? With legislative partnering with DPAC and Bronx Federation.
no.
I feel the more
I'm not
the
opposed.
merrier, we
Yeah, I
need all
agree.
the help that we
I
can get,
agree.
so we can move forward with the planning process. And then getting them even to come into the council and we can start those discussions, which will go with the committee, with the community engagement committee. So
I'll send
that'll
an
fall
email
under
tomorrow.
there.
I'll send an email for tomorrow to see if everybody's able to meet for the company.
Okay, so we're cool with that?
Yep.
All right, this sounds good. All right, somebody get us out of here.
Motion to close.
Erica Bulos,
Adjourn.
Erica Bulos